Tell me, preacher man.
So what we did with the song is that Luke has is playing guitar and sort of also just to sort of very slightly to build a kind of a movie score arrangement around the acoustical aspect of the song, which kind of add a little bit.
So that song's developed a lot. I mean, and the acoustic version of it's kind of come after that, and it's me kind of trying to mimic the groove of the heavier version,
Yeah.
and then making it acoustic, and then it's just kind of like turned into this real kind of percussive, gritty kind of thing.
Yeah. That's great. It's a great thing.
Hi, this is Michael here. This is week 11, Eclectic Roots Groove playlist curated by RCSQ Records. The song we're going to be doing today, as I said in the promo, that normally we've been doing other artists, and this week I thought it would be really fun to do artists that are in Nashville, and I will be doing that. There's a list of artists that I want to cover that definitely fall within the genre of Eclectic Roots Groove. And particularly the one that we're going to cover is Luke Wood. I met Luke in Nashville, and there's an open mic night sponsored by the Blue House Band. I talked about the Blue House Band, how amazing they are, where you bring a chart of your music and they play it for you, and the band is absolutely top notch and amazing. So I listened to Luke Wood and I was like, wow, this guy is really good. And what makes him good, and why am I talking to you about Luke Wood in regards to Eclectic Roots Groove? Because his voice on its own is a mixture of, Joe Cocker, soul music, blues, funk. I wouldn't say funk, but just very raw. So I would say he's a combination of Americana, of blues, of rock, in a kind of an acoustic version of that, and he just comes off as being super raw, and because of that, you are just immediately drawn to him. His words are quite intense. He's had a bit of suffering in his life, which he translates into his songs. And what I thought would be cool, what RCSQ Records did, was that we came alongside him and we produced an acoustic EP called One of These Days. It consists of 5 songs. The one song that I'm going to talk to you about is Preacher Man. And it has a kind of a repetitive kind of beat on the acoustic guitar. I'll play the intro of it, and you'll see what I mean. So it starts off with that repeat. So that's the kind of the intro of the song. And then I thought to myself, in producing him, wanted it to be very raw and real and acoustic, but to kind of, build a film score. The best way of putting it is a film score around the actual song itself. Like in a film score, you really aren't paying attention to the music. You're paying attention to the actors, the theme of the movie, and that is exactly what you want to be paying attention to. But the film score, what it can do is that it can just add the mood and the intensity. And so the arrangement around him is very eclectic. It has combinations of scrapes and bells, choral vocals, but very incidental and quiet, such that you're paying attention to the rawness of him and the song and getting the emotive quality of what the words mean. So what it is, it's an acoustic, raw, bluesy song with a repetitive motive, and then around that there's a kind of an orchestral arrangement and a atmospheric arrangement that kind of brings to life his words and the rawness of his voice. So it's, like I said, the arrangement is almost like a film score around his song. So I'll just start to play it and kind of comment a little bit of it as we go along.
Tell me, preacher man, can you help me now? Well, how many seeds
It's a very raw voice.
can you sow? Tell me, preacher man, can you save my soul? Well, how many stones can you throw? See all my labor, I labored in vain.
So you can start to hear kind of like a
All my fruit,
like
they don't
African kind
me
of
shame.
banging on. Actually, it's on a
Well, I
pot.
cast my seed
Shakers.
on a cold hard ground. Now my seeds, they feel the vultures now. Well, tell me, preacher man, can you help me now? Oh, how many seeds can
There's
you
early slight
sow?
vocals in the background.
Oh, tell me, preacher man, can you save my soul? Well, how many stones can you throw?
Scraping sounds, washes around the outside of his voice. Acoustic congo, wood acoustic drumming.
See, I've done a bad thing.
It's really incidental and mild.
I'm not so love. I revel in the rain.
Double vocals
But
in
I
the
cast
background.
my seeds on a stony ground. Well, they grew tall until the sun came out. Well, tell me, preacher man, can you help me now? Oh, how many seeds can you sow? Well, tell me, preacher man, can you save my soul? Well, how many stones can you
So
throw?
there's all these kinds of incidental sound effects that are building up around him in the piece. There's like shimmering bells, there's congo percussive notes that are occurring, there's vocal kind of chorals that kind of come in alongside him, which it makes it really sort of almost classical, almost like a classical modern composition, but surrounding him as an artist in a very raw kind of piece, which makes it very eclectic and raw and to me very, very interesting.
Well, tell me, preacher man, can you help me now?
Background vocals.
Well, how many seeds can you sow? Well, tell me, preacher man, can you save my soul? Well, how many stones can you throw?
And those background vocals are about like 4 or 5 different notes building a chord. So yeah, it was really fun. As you can tell, the guy is really raw, really present, an amazing performer to watch play. That's one of the other songs in his album, but really raw to watch him to play, and then to kind of just subtly build a very interesting kind of an orchestral piece around him with vocals, shimmering, high-end kind of frequency notes, very kind of African acoustic drumming, synthesizer kind of washes that are going behind him, which are very quiet and incidental, but then create a mood around him. I just think was fascinating, and it's just a lot of fun to work with him. So this is Luke Wood, Preacher Man, from his EP One of These Days, which was produced by RCSQ Records, and look forward to talking with you next week. Ciao, all the best.
Tell me, preacher man, can you help me now? Oh, how many seeds can you sow? Oh, tell me, preacher man, can you save my soul?